Tejada is the guest we have today.
Yes.
And Mel's a gamer. All right. Not only does his name sound like he plays professional baseball, but he is literally a gamer. Okay. Like if you didn't know any better, you'd be like, who's he play for? The Orioles? Makes sense. You'd be like, nah, dude, he plays for Family First Life and he crushes it. All right. And confidence just seeps through. I went to a lock-in 3 months ago in Roanoke, Virginia. And at this lock-in, I got to hear Mel train. And he trained on final expense. He trained on the why. Okay. And he broke it down so well, like better than I've seen a lot of folks break it down in this new age with telesales. Because when you break training via telesales, there's so many words and things that you cannot waver on. And Mel, his attention to detail as it pertains to these things is impeccable. So what I want you guys to do like right now is like go get a pen, take some notes. If you're driving, okay, and like if you really got somewhere to be, all right, do your thing. If you really don't got nowhere to be, just pull over. All right, like just pull over and take yourself some notes, because I'm 1,000% sure that whatever he's going to lay with us tonight, you are going to be able to put in play tonight. And you are going to be able to put in play tomorrow. And it's going to help you out with a multitude of different things, not only just closing, but keeping your business on the books. Okay. And it's not, people are like, well, I got to change my product in order to keep my business on the books. Who was kind of under the belief that they kind of had to change their whole portfolio in order to keep more money?
Yeah.
Come on. Don't be bashful. Don't be bashful, y'all. All right. Hey, I'll be the first person. I did. My business was so bad. I actually thought, like, in July, I was talking to Bryce, and Bryce can tell you. All right. I was talking to Bryce, and I was like, Bryce, dude, I think we're going to have to get out of this mortgage and final expense market so much because, dude, the new agents, dude, they just can't handle it. Woo. Can y'all relate to that? Can y'all relate? Like, yes. You notice how I said the new agents, because I felt like I was stronger than them or something, right? Like they couldn't go through what I went through. Yes, they can. But with that, change has to happen. All right. And with that, you have to understand, like, who's a buyer, who's not, how to identify how you wasting your time on the phone. Because on telesales, if you aren't reading who's a buyer and who's not, you're going to be wasting a lot of time. And if you're dealing with final expense, vet leads, internet leads, anything like that, and you can't identify who is who, you're going to hate your pool that you're in, because you're going to be like, I spend a lot of time with the wrong people. Well, what Mel's going to talk about today is how to not spend the wrong time with the wrong people. Is that fair to say, Mel? Okay. So I'm going to get out the way, because FX vet leads, simplify it, dude. It's high volume. And with high volume, you have got to know, where do I merit my energy? Where do I put my energy? And where do I go? Nah, that's just the nature of the beast. That's just what it is. Okay. But also, how do you not just accept getting punched in the face, having 3 chargebacks a week? How you don't accept that. You make changes. So Mel, velocity up and down, bro. You don't see him any day. He probably got velocity tattooed on his heart, and I'm serious, because that's how serious he is about not only his business, but the people that he works with. You know what I mean? Like, I go in that office, he's just like, yo, Dave, you need this. Hey, Dom, you need this. I'm just like, dude, just a servant. But while he's doing that, he's still on the phone with Mutual of Omaha. So I'm walking in the office going, he goes, hey, Dom, you need this? I'm like, yeah, cool, I'll get it. He goes, no, I'll get it for you. I'm like, dude, aren't you on the phone with a client right now? He goes, yeah, no big deal, though. No big deal. I'm like, dude, when service is on your heart, bro, it never goes anywhere. So Mel, thank you for being you. All right, I look forward to knowing you and learning more about you, dude. But I'm just sit back, dude, take some notes. If I have any questions, I'll chime in, dude. But there's a lot of folks on here who are looking to take their business off the ground. Forget the next level, okay? Like, I know we all, next level, great. But how many people on here just want to get off the damn ground? Please. Like, who's like, dude, I'm here, I just invested in leads, dude. Can I just make my money back and then have some confidence? Can I get there? Who can relate to that? Who was like, man, can I just get some, like, I get 20,000, I get 100,000 in a week. Congratulations, you guys. But Mel, help me as a new agent go out there and have confidence. I can go out there, spend $1,000 on leads, and deposit $3,000 to $5,000 within 7 days. Can you help me out with that, brother?
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate for the massive.
All right, my bro. I'm gonna get out the way, bro. It's all you.
One thing I'll say for new agents and for current seasoned agents, you can't win like a poker or business with scared money. And I'll say it again, you can't win a poker or business with scared money. So if you don't want to use your money, use another person's money, like a bank or something, a line of credit or anything. But don't make that the excuse. The other thing is, everybody knows, like Hollywood actors, and I guess now Netflix nowadays, all these professional, high-performing film and acting stars, they do follow a script and a structure. But when you see them on TV, they don't sound like they're scripted, right? So who has heard of, let's say, Benedict Cumberbatch or Tom Cruise or Daniel Craig? They all follow a structure, but they don't sound scripted on the movie. And do you agree, Dom? Right?
100%.
Exactly. So why don't we take that concept or that perspective and put it into life insurance? And if you're not in life insurance and you're in another sector and business, then take it for your business too. So that's my mentality here. And as a new agent, if you want to accelerate and get to the point where you are right at with the top producers or getting close to it, or trying to maintain that level, that should be your perspective going into this business on a day-to-day basis. And for example, if I'm a new agent and I want to get to Dom's level, for example, I will watch Dom dial, and I'll watch another person dial. And then at certain points of the script, I will probably record how he says certain things, his spacing, his word tracks, his body language. At what points of the call does he lean into the phone and lowers his tone of voice to make sure that the question is interpreted by the prospect the proper way? Because your tone is how your prospects interpret the meaning of your questions. And I'll say it again. When I lower my tone of voice and I slow down, it means I'm going to say something important. And that's when the clients also lean in on the phone. They can feel it on the other side. It doesn't have to be in person. It could be over the phone, like we do every day. So your tone is how your prospects interpret the meaning of your questions. You can say, trying to find out the why, for example. Hey, Mary, because most people in life insurance, and I'll stop right there. It's a backup thought before I forget. They like this concept about assumption. I agree with it to a certain point, but like talking about the why, you can't just name out the why to the client and expecting them to agree with you and then just go with it. It's just a knee-jerk answer. So if you tell the prospect, let's just say, Dom, you're the prospect. Can you role play with me real quick? All right. So Tom, most people, when they fill out this form, they fill it out for 3 different reasons: for final expenses, to cover the funeral, burial, cremation, mortgage protection, or just to leave a legacy. Which was it for you?
I just want to take care of my burial.
Right. And then most agents right there, they just put that under the rug and they continue with the script. That's a knee-jerk answer. That's just not even deep. That's too surface level. That's a logical question. It's kind of like emotional because our service, we got to deal with the clients on the worst days of their life, delivering that check. But right there is one of the main problems in this industry, where agents think that because the prospect answered that question, oh, that's the why right there. I got the why, bruh. I'm going to go to the next question. I don't think so. You can say like this. Dom, this may sound like a cheesy question, but do you really want Martha to have to pay for all of that, the funeral, and deal with the funeral director and gather the family and everything out of her own pocket if she didn't have to? You see how that sounds? He's probably going to give me a more detailed answer than just, yeah, I just want the burial, right? So think of it as, if you have a piece of paper, draw like 3 columns on the left side. And I learned this from a book that is titled Get In, Get Out. The only thing I got out of that book was that little diagram they got. Other than that, I don't pay attention to it. But on the left side, they got like a picket fence, right? And they got the happy picket fence, the ones who will say yes no matter what you say. The middle picket fence, that depends on your sales skills. And then the right picket fence, which is like the negative ones. Like they will say no. Whatever you say, they'll say no. So what you got to focus on is get better as a professional, because we can't just wing this, right? To a certain degree, after you're here like a month, 2 months, you can't just keep winging it. If you're gonna want to get to the next level, you gotta level up through acquiring additional sales skills and being around with high performance people. So long story short, if you got that 3 columns, put the positive ones on the left. The middle ones are the ones that you gotta help, because those type of people have never been in a leadership position. They've never been an executive. They're just regular employees, and they need help with decision making. This is why they need our service. Otherwise, they would just contact the insurance company. We focus on the middle ones. We develop our skills to help those people with decision making, because they suck at decision making. And through your questioning ability, your pacing, and your delivery, body language, you're most likely going to be able to get most of those people in the middle to the positive side, as opposed to the negative side. So that's kind of like a general concept of what, you know, we've been working on the past few years here.
Yo, Mel. So this is, and dude, I'm just over here like, conceptually, when you lowered your voice down, has anybody thought about that? Like when he said, hey, I watch people who do what we do, right? You would think in person, right? Like you're like, okay, I want to see somebody run an appointment. You forget the value of seeing people on live dials, or even just seeing people face to face, because you can see, like, I know when I'm talking on the phone, or you see people, there's physical body language that you can learn from Jesse Stom, even though it is a telesell.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's like those, like, are you leaning into the phone? Are you lowering your voice down? Are you going, hey, Mel, with all due respect, do I have permission to tell you the truth? He's like,
yeah, but right there, stop right there.
Yeah.
Say that just like with a general tone, like just like from just say that in a normal state, right? And see how it sounds. I'm not gonna give him the same answer. Go ahead and say it.
Dude, it's kind of hard for me to even do it regular, to be honest with you. Let me go. Mel, do I have the permission to be honest with you?
Right. You see right there, that right there. You see how the difference, if you go back to the recording, because this is recorded for you, the new agents and the YouTubers out there that you want to learn this business, stop the recording there and listen to him right now. Part B versus part A. You want to get better? Pay attention.
That's real.
And repeat it.
And because a lot of the times, Mel, if I'm hearing you right, it's not what we're saying, because a lot of us all have the same scripts per se, right?
Yeah.
Many of us are like, unless you're just totally against reading what's in front of you, a lot of it is how you're saying it.
Yeah.
The energy that you are either giving or pulling out from the client. Okay. Right. Mel, when you're in the, how much did you sell last month?
So what I do, like we do a combination. Dave and I work together. So him and I did almost 80,000. I did like 45, and Dave did like 30 something. So yeah,
not too bad, bro. All right. So, and all of that is how much of that is final expense?
All of it.
All of it. Okay. How many of that percentage is one call close versus appointment?
So we have dialers. Now, before we had dialers, I used to call to close, and they were next to me here. But then we decided to implement the dialer system, and we have basically 15 appointments a day.
15 appointments a day.
But that's the thing, though. If they don't show up, we're not going to be like just wandering here in the clouds like, okay, let me wait for the next appointment. We have like a flawless schedule and flawless standards. What I mean by that is that we don't fuck around. Like if Martha didn't show up, okay, Martha, we'll talk to you later, and we're going to call the next person. Could be the next new lead. And pay attention to this, the new ones. Could be the next new lead. Could be a follow-up, a person that I didn't help on the first try, but I could help on the second try. Maybe they didn't have the banking at the time, or maybe they wanted to talk to the spouse a little bit more. And they're those type of people that are really, really bad with decision-making, and they really need that spouse on the phone. I'll call those back, or the no-shows. you always got something to do. So like from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., we're nonstop on point, you know.
Let's go one call close, okay?
Mhm.
One call close. Let's get up until you get the info, okay? And I'm going to throw some common objections at you. Is that fair?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, ring, hello?
Hey, Dom, this is just Mel. I'm a veterans consultant. And I was told to give you a call back because for some reason you were looking into the life insurance. Is that what it is, or something different like burial or mortgage protection?
For my burial.
For your burial. Okay. Got it. And are you right now retired, disabled, or are you working right now at the moment?
I'm retired.
You're retired? Okay, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. So now this is something through the VA?
Well, it's through the veteran-friendly carriers. We have all of them in here. It's just like you're looking online. We basically have one system for everybody. And based on your health and age, we might be able to help you get day one coverage to the veteran-friendly carriers, or we might be able to refer you to the VA Life program, which is run by a third party as well. So do you have a terminal illness?
I don't.
You don't have a terminal illness? Well, those programs by the VA Life were designed for those type of veterans who have like a terminal illness or pretty bad health. Unfortunately, it's very sad. They can't get approved for day one coverage on the other side, on the private side with veteran-friendly carriers. That's why they get sent to the VA Life, and we're just like the middleman trying to help out as we can. There's 60 million veterans, including myself, and it's just a matter of what you may qualify for. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And before we go over what you might be looking for, it might be appropriate if I just ask you a few questions, and just to make sure I could even help you in the first place, because you might not even need us, but it's worth a little bit of talk to see if I can help you. Right now, for example, do you have any life insurance?
I don't.
You don't? Okay, well, how old are you again?
66.
66? Damn, how long you been looking for life insurance?
You know what? I should have. I've been looking for it, not very long, but I know I should have it.
What prevented you from getting it?
Just thinking I couldn't afford it, or it's just too much.
That's too much. Okay. Have you tried to apply before?
I talked to a guy or two before, but nothing. But it was just regular life insurance. When I saw this online, it was more, tailored towards veterans. So I was intrigued by that.
Got it. And between you and I, and off the record, what's really the main reason you're looking for life insurance at 66?
I know I'm gonna go, and my kids, they need something to take care of me.
Then, and this may sound like a cheesy question. I mean, they make us ask it to every veteran, but it sounds like you don't want your kids to have to pay for all of those expensive bills when you're no longer here, right?
100%. Yeah.
How would that make you feel if we're possibly able to find you something that's affordable and that you can qualify for, knowing that coverage will be there for your kids?
Man, that would make me feel great. I'd probably, be able to sleep well at night.
Okay, and as human beings, we also got to explore failure. I mean, you got to paint the picture too. Like, you could get denied. You almost tried to do an application, but you never done an application before. What happens if you possibly get declined, or you just don't get the life insurance, and heck, I mean, you pass sooner than you thought? I mean, that could happen. What happens to them at that point?
Well, they're screwed. They're gonna have to figure it out.
Mm.
They're gonna have to, I got 2 kids. They'll have to figure it out. They'll have to piece it up, ask each other to figure. But that's why I'm talking to you. So I don't want that to happen.
Sounds like time to make a change, right?
I'm with you. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, they calculate the rates based on your age and health for preferred rates, not the standard rates like the VA Life. And just to let you know, to raise your awareness, because most people don't have awareness these days, because most veterans get the assumption that they're all going to be covered when they die, and the families get mad and pissed off. They even get madder and more pissed off when they find out the VA Life has a 2-year waiting period, meaning that if you die in the next year, the family's just going to get what you paid into plus 1%, not even 10% like the private veteran-friendly carriers, 1%. So you gotta be in really bad health to get into that program. Now, it's a fair program for those who can't get it. So talk to me about your health. How's your health today?
My health is solid. I take some high blood pressure meds, but that's pretty much it.
Okay. And then we'll go over the health questions, and we'll find out his health, and most likely I'm able to help that individual. So
now,
yeah.
Mel, this everything you just did is where the bulk of do you guys what he did was, so you guys please go back and listen to this. I'm gonna go back and listen to it. But the flow of questions that he was asking, pretty much, you guys see how he took away every objection that a lot of us deal with at the end or the middle?
It's objection prevention. So it's
like everything that he just did was objection prevention. Let's get into that, because I think they heard it, right? But what were some of those objection preventions that you went through so they can kind of put them together, Mel?
Number one is like the partner or the kid's objection. I don't say, you probably got to talk about it. I ask you a question. How would you feel? How would your children feel about you having this coverage? If I didn't say it, then add it on to it. And then I did ask him, how would you feel about knowing that you can get something affordable and that you can qualify for it, and that's going to be there for his kids? That got him emotionally involved. That got him on an emotional high. And then I took it away from him by saying, hey, human beings, we got to explore failure. What are the consequences if you don't get qualified, or you just don't get it for some reason? What happens then? And then he said, I got to talk to you. I probe him more. So there's a probing thing. You got to qualify the prospect. Even though they say that deeply, I like to probe them a little bit more by saying, sounds like time to make a change, right? You can say that. Or if you want to be more detailed, then you can say, how important is it for you to change the situation from where you are now, Dom, with no financial protection at all, or no life insurance, to where you should be? Really, how important is it for you in a scale of 1 to 10? If they say 10, they sold themselves on the idea that they've been procrastinating on this, which they have. That's our job, to let them know, raise their awareness from where they are to where they should be, and then move forward. And if they say a 7 or 8 or 10 or 9, or 7, 8 or 9, then there's some concern there that's got to be overcome before you push for the EAP.
Let's address that. So I give you a 7 or an 8. How do you address that, dude?
Yeah, when you say a 7, what's behind that, so I can understand?
Well, I just kind of want to know how much it is, and I got just trying to figure. I'm shopping around. Right.
Okay. Well, like I said at the beginning, we have all the carriers on the private side with veteran-friendly carriers and the ones with the VA Life. So we'll be able to save you some time on that. Now, when you say the prices and stuff, let me pull up the options here. I put this on the computer, so this damn computers, I want to throw them away sometimes. They're so slow. Hold on, my boss just, yeah. All right, so the computer is asking me here, what will be like your household income? You'll actually appreciate this. Another favor that we do for our veterans is going over their budgetary situation, just to make sure we find something that's affordable, so we don't waste your time or my time. What's your approximate monthly income?
I see where you're going. Did you guys see what he just did? Like, dude, this is Mel. You know what you're doing, and I like it, okay? Because this is solid. So solid. Now, what I'm hearing a lot of, now I hear this and I get excited, and I'm like, wow, like opens up doors. But if I've never done this before, Mel, if I've never been this assumptive, or I'm not sold on that the folks actually filled the form out, they need insurance, how difficult could it be? What do you think it would be to kind of take this approach that you're presenting to us?
You can reduce the amount of people who go on Reddit and say that FFL don't work.
And the thing is just know that it's the belief. Like, Mel, there's no wavering belief that when I say, hey, it's the price, well, okay, cool, I'm going to address it a little bit, right? Or this, but I'm going to get back to it because I know you want it. Okay, Mel, have you always had that ingrained in your head? Like when you first started in insurance, were you just under this auspice of they want the insurance?
Well, that's how I was remember, like, it's not what you tell your children to do, is how they see you do stuff. So I saw my leadership be assumptive. I was like, okay, I'm assumptive too, you know. So when I was in home, I was always pretty confident on helping the prospect, soon to be client, and I just got better over time by investing in myself and with a higher network of people, professional sales leaders, and so forth. People who've been there, done that, has got me to this point. I wish I knew what I knew when I started. So
don't we all? Hey, I'm going to tell you, we got another probably 7 minutes or so. If you guys have questions, pop them in here. We may be able to get Mel to answer them. Mel, can you put your Instagram in the chat if you can? And then
yeah.
Can you address the comment, I need to think about it and get back to you?
Yeah, think about it. It's not an objection. It's just like a small screen, because you screwed up at the beginning of the call, most likely. You didn't build enough emotional high for them to see that the prices are less risky than them not doing anything. So it always comes back to the beginning. In the intro.
Hold on. Did you guys hear that? He said you did a terrible job at the beginning of explaining why the cost of insurance is a lot less risky than not having it. Like that, I think, Mel, you say some things, bro, and I'm just like, yo, dude, like, the cost of insurance should never outweigh what the insurance is going to do for the family.
Amen.
For some way, our communication doesn't lead them to knowing that. That's our fault. That's our fault. You know what I mean? And that's how you turn into being the human quote machine. You're the human quote machine if you just walk around doing that.
Right.
But I asked for the price and stuff like that cost. Mel redirects me and gets into my budget. So then he gets the real reason. And then he's probably going to find out it ain't budget, dude, it's trust. But now since I got into his budget and things like that, he's going to trust me more. So now he's going to buy the one for $127.
There's two things there before I forget. One is when they say think about it, like if you gotta fix the problem, I mean, you can't go back to the call and you can't go back in time. So you gotta fix the freaking problem right now. You created that problem. So what you do is you don't ask them like, what is that you need to think about? That's too that will get them too defensive. Okay, so you gotta always be disarming, disarm them first, and then go ahead and tackle the concern. It might not be an objection. It's just like a simple statement. Because right here, we are in mutual grounds. We are on the same team. It's not adversarial. It's not like we're in the combat zone. Like, I'm going to sell this dude. Look, I'm going to close this guy. No. These people are going to be our family once they're in the books. And just like one of my old friends says, it is a privilege for them to be on my books. Not only because we send brownies to them, it's because when that time comes, they got my personal number. And the next day, Mel or Logan, my team member, or Dave or Aaron, we'll tackle that and get that death benefit paid out. That's one thing. And then the next thing is, when they say think about it, the Band-Aid approach will be, hey, that's not a problem. What's your time frame? I'm getting back to me in the next couple of hours just to see if I'm available, because there's, like I said, there's 60 million veterans. I don't have a lot of time, and I know you might be feel pressure because we don't have a lot of time, and you haven't done this type of decision making before. You were in the military, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what was your rank? Most of them who say think about it, they will probably be in the E1, E2, E3. Right? What is E1, E2, E3? Go look it up. I'm not going to give you all the answers. Like, if you actually look it up, you're going to learn it faster than me just telling you. So that's ranking. That's all I'm going to say. Look up the ranks per branch, and then if they get a little bit defensive, then you say, what was your rank in the Army, or what was your rank in the Navy? And when they start disclosing their ranks, most likely based on historical data, my experience is that they didn't have a leadership position in the military. And it's not bad. It's just that they were not constantly making decisions. So at that point, you offer them a reschedule in the next couple of hours. And then after they agree on the next couple of hours, or the next day, or the day after that, no more than 2 days, then you go ahead, hey, and before we get off the phone, what was it that you wanted to think about in your mind, or thought about in your mind? So just so I can understand, so I can prepare myself for the next call. Oh, no, nothing. I just wanted to see if option 3 or option 2 was better, and my wife's kind of helped me with this. Immediately, because these people are about to press the red button. Immediately, okay? That's when you gotta say, hey, Tommy, before we get off the phone, can I maybe, verbal pause, can I maybe make you a suggestion? 99% of people will say, sure, what's your suggestion? We're human beings, we're curious. What's your suggestion, Mel? Well, when most people land in this situation, most of them, like, you know, most veterans, they drop down the coverage amount. Maybe they go to tier 1, and, you know, they try to see if they can qualify for that rather than running around without insurance. And that's just the most reasonable thing to do, because it's easier to go up rather than go down. Wouldn't you agree? Right. Okay. So why not try for that? And then if you get approved for that and you talk to Mary tomorrow, I'll be your agent for life. So I can just increase or upgrade the program immediately on the spot. So why don't we do that? See if we can get it. Because if you're going to get something, you're at least going to get the lowest option, right? Right. Okay. And most of them were like, okay, I can do that. I can always upgrade. Yeah. Awareness. They're not aware that you can increase coverage and that you can upgrade it like that. Because when they were in the military, to get up in the ranks or to do something, it was like, hurry up and wait. It was like, oh, hell, I got to just send this request now to the sergeant major. That's just going to take me like 7 days or 2 weeks, 2 months. They don't know how our system works. And we raise their awareness by communicating properly. So that's that.
Come on, y'all. Drop the mic. Like, y'all in the chats right now. He said, do you get referrals? Dude, I'm sure you do business like that. People are just going to tell you that they have people. What time we got? We got 1 minute. All right. Anybody want to hop on and just, say anything about what Mel's already shared or any questions, comments real quick? And then we'll wrap it up, dude. But Mel, thank you. Freaking beast.
This was the recording of all recordings. I appreciate this one.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Now,
y'all,
they got
we'll just leave it there. All right. We'll leave it there because you crushed it, brother. All right. And we'll get the recording out to everybody. It'll be in the Discord.
Thank you very much.
Mel,
Hey, Dom.
Thank you, Mel. That was hot right there.
Dom,
Thank you.
One more thing, Dom.
Enjoyed that, bro.
Thank you, Mel. Most people complain about they got to wait for the commission to get. So you want to tackle that?
Yes. There you go.
So
Yeah. Last little piece here. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Quality of business. Yes.
Quality of business. Yeah. And mine and Dave's are 90%. If you want to contact the headquarters or whoever to make sure, I don't mind. All right. So let's say we're at the end and I'm about to get to the banking, and let's go ahead, role play with me, Dom, and then we'll end it there.
Right.
So,
all right. So we're
yeah. So we're like putting the beneficiaries information. Go back to the recording for this part. I'm putting the beneficiaries information, and then I say, hey, Dom, I don't need this right now, but if you can go ahead and grab that checkbook with account and routing number, then I don't need it right now, but if you can go ahead and grab it, I'm finishing up your beneficiary portion here. Yeah, sure. And they'll come back screaming for the account and routing number. Now, when they give it to you, you could say before they give it to you or after, depending on the scenario. But you say this, hey, Dom, once they process this completely, the payment will come out in 1 to 3 business days. Is that going to be a problem?
No, it won't be a problem.
When you ask a no-oriented question, I say it again, when you ask a no-oriented question, most likely they're going to say that's not a problem, or that's okay, because they are expecting to make a payment anyways. When you offer the post-dates and stuff at the beginning, that opens their mind, opens Pandora's box. So, okay, I can post-date this. Oh, I don't want to spend this $180. I'd rather spend it in Pandora, So make sure you're careful with what you say. That way you get them covered and you also get paid. Now, if they say, I don't have the money right now, I don't think we can do this today then. Well, can I maybe make you a suggestion? Well, sure. What is it? Well, then you're a veteran, right? Yeah. So we can schedule like a payment arrangement, just like you do when you can't pay your phone bill. Payment arrangement. And for the next couple of days, how many days do you need? The second trial is a couple of days. Do not offer the next month yet. The second trial is a couple of days. And they will it's not like you'll fall, but they will agree to a couple of days, maybe next week. Then you process that payment or like select it for the next week or next couple of days. And then if it gets to the point where they say, hey, I get paid on Social Security and I really don't have money right now. Could we put this for the first? Then you offer that payment for the next month. You see? Now you got 3 trials. Well, you got 2 trials before the next month. That way they get covered and you get paid. That's it.
Dude, you guys, that's so massive versus just running to it. Hey, when do you want to pay for it? And then you end up with a whole bunch of some closes, but then nobody pays for it. They forget about it. You know, they talk to 3 or 4 other people in between the time that draft comes out. You know, when people stop sitting down with people, or they stop talking to people when they pay for it. But if they ain't paid for it, they keep talking to people. And that's what I discovered with a whole lot of draft day business. So thanks for that, Mel. That's huge stuff. And in final expense, if you don't have the posture around that, you'll have a lot of folks just pushing things out because it seems easier, but the back end of it's you don't want to see the back end of that. So dude, that was huge. Thanks for remembering that, man. And if you stayed on, and if you stayed on, you got that nugget. And if you didn't, we'll still send it out and you will get it. So Mel, you the man, bro. Thank you so much.